Hello, I'm Bradley Overrated, bringing you an overrated review, the most casual reviews on all of the internet. And today's game is Hoa, or Hoa. I cannot pronounce this for the life of me. It's not Hoa, as I found out. It's a Vietnamese title, and this word specifically means flower, which is pretty cool, but I do apologize, I cannot for the life of me pronounce it. But without further ado, I still want to talk about this game. In this game, you play as a fairy that was taken away from her homeland and then later on comes back, and as the game goes through, you will find out why this fairy specifically was taken away and why they came back, the whole purpose and reasoning behind playing the game. The story itself was pretty dang decent. I liked it. I found it enjoyable. It was a little bit underwhelming at times, and I did basically predict it halfway through. I kind of figured out what was going on. But all the same, the thing about this game is I think it is supposed to be a very relaxing, arguably more atmospheric than puzzle platformer. But since this game is also technically titled as a puzzle platformer and definitely has those elements, those are, in my opinion, the shortcomings of Hoa. But before I even get into the shortcomings, I just want to commend this studio and these developers for creating such a gorgeous art style. When playing this game on the PlayStation 5, it was vibrant and it was lifelike. It has a very good soundtrack that's complimentary of what you're doing within the game. So there are definitely things you can enjoy simply from just experiencing the game outside of the core gameplay. But like I said, when it comes right down to the core gameplay itself, this game is admittedly kind of boring. The thing about this game being more along the lines of a puzzle platformer is the sheer fact that it doesn't really have very many challenging, arguably doesn't have puzzle platforms in it. Only towards the end, when you get to a certain section that I'm not going to spoil, does it actually feel like it tries to challenge your intellect and give you a puzzle to solve. But for the most part, all you're really doing is using your basic skill sets to run around, collect a bunch of little guys, use these guys to acquire a new power and traverse on to the next area, and you will continue to do this until basically the end of the game. But at the end of the game is when the story and the conclusion and the puzzle platforming and it all amps up, and I wish they had more of that. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything here, but I wish they had more of that throughout the entirety of the game rather than make a big explosion, so to speak, at the end of the game. Another disappointing thing about this game is the fact that there aren't really any secrets to discover. There's no secret areas or secret collectibles, so to speak. It's a pretty basic A to B type of approach, and that is a little bit disappointing because I always appreciate it when games give me something else to do, because this game is not big. In just a few hours you will have beaten this game, and you could probably collect all of the achievements on the same playthrough if you really wanted to. There's not a lot of content here for a game that charges $30 for a physical version. I also must mention that there are some performance issues within the game. You will definitely encounter some stuttering, some frame rate drops. It's inevitable. I'm certain you've even seen it on some of my gameplay that has been recorded here. It's unfortunate, but that is the business of this, and as a reviewer I have to call it out, and it's unfortunate that there are these performance issues, but they are within the game. Hoa in the end was disappointing. In a lot of ways, I felt like they could have done more with the puzzle platforming. I feel like they could have done more with the environments, had more collectibles, more secrets to be discovered. I think the developers chose, though, to focus primarily on delivering a story and having a more relaxing type of game, and in those regards, the game does deliver a good story, and it is definitely relaxing, so I do have to commend them on what they were trying to do here. Me personally, I did enjoy this game to a fair extent, but I have to keep it honest and I do have to keep it real. And as far as my letter grade is concerned for Hoa, I am going to have to give it a C. It is a very average puzzle platformer, even atmospheric narrative if you want to call it that. But having said that, like I said, I think digitally it runs for about 15 bucks. If you see it on sale and this is something that looks interesting to you, maybe give it a chance, because I think a lot of people that look at this and think this is something that is interesting for them, it probably will be, and they will enjoy it. This concludes my overrated review. Guys, thank you so much for taking time to watch this. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of Hoa. Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was cool? Like I said, I personally did enjoy the game, but I was being objective here and I had to be honest with my letter grade. It's how I roll. So let me know what you guys think about this game, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Bradley Overrated, out like a trout, and have a good day.